Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Well, after 10 years of the stock market going up like Kanye's ego, the market lost 15% of its value.
Look what's happening with our markets. People get it.
Here's how the stock market works. You put your money in a company, and depending on how that company does, you either win money or lose money. You know what it's like? It's like a worldwide casino. And we all know how amazing our president has done with casinos.
You're bankrupt, loser.
Our president has been claiming the stock market is his doing, all of it. I mean, forget the fact that under Obama it went from 6,000 to 20,000. Okay. But every day Trump talked about the strongest market in history. And what did he say when it dropped the other day?
Are financial markets overreacting here?
I think the financial markets are very upset when they look at the Democrat candidate standing on that stage making fools out of themselves.
Now, the coronavirus is one reason they're saying. The other is oil. See, Russia and Saudi have been propping up prices to keep prices of gas and oil high because they know that we in America are all going to be driving electric cars soon, and then the Saudis will be over. They're going to have to go back to telling stories around a flaming pile of camel dung. Oh, remember 9/11? Those were the good days when we did that. Oh, damn, do I miss W. Now, the Saudis wanted Russia and Putin to cut production again so they can artificially keep the price of oil high. But Russia refused to cut production, so Saudi said they're going to raise production to drive prices down and basically screw everybody. You know what this is going to do? It's going to put companies out of business, kill thousands of jobs, and maybe tank the economies of numerous oil-producing countries. Good job, Saudi. You got to love the Saudis. You know what? It's like an entire country with the attitude of a malevolent ex-wife. Look up who did 9/11, just saying. So, because Saudi needs to make the Quan, they raped the world, and our stock market fell 2,000 points in one day. And Trump had to face that he was president during the biggest stock market drop since the last Republican president. Biggest drop ever. People are saying no one has ever seen such a drop. I am the best at being worst. To all of you, don't worry about the stock market because, well, none of us have money in it. Trump is claiming the stock market and the coronavirus is a hoax to make him lose the election. Well, Donald, I got to admit, you got us. Because after the Mueller report came out, and that didn't get rid of you, and we had a meeting. And I mean the entire world had a meeting while you were golfing for your 467th day. Maybe you should pay attention more. And we decided to infect the entire planet with a deadly virus. That's right. We got a Chinese volunteer to eat a bat and then French kiss a soccer stadium. But you foiled us by doing absolutely nothing. So, since that didn't work, went to plan B and made two dictators try to ruin each other's economy with the most important commodity, oil, worldwide, and crash the global financial markets, possibly leading to World War III, just to get rid of you. That's how bad you suck, Mr. President. To get rid of you, we are willing to end humanity as we know it. I'm Christopher Titus. And this is the Armageddon Update. Oh, no. Everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Go to YouTube and watch go to Christopher Titus TV, and you can get Armageddon updates every week, usually every week, and also to the podcast. Bombshell Ray this week is with her grandma. She's with Grandma Jean. You won't believe how it's going. And so we have a guest tonight. I asked someone who's been a friend of mine for a long time, and all the way back to the forum, right? Did we? Yeah. That's good. And someone who actually did something amazing that no one's done. Lourdes Reynolds, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Let's get speaking to the microphone.
Okay, yeah.
So thanks for coming on. So you guys did, so people, still a background about you. You're an actress.
Yes.
A little bit about you, your background. You came to LA when?
Oh my goodness, in 2000.
Okay.
June of 2000.
1988 for me. Oh, by the way, let me introduce, the Highlanders also here.
There can be only one.
There can be only one. Yeah.
The return.
So yes, I came in 2000. was doing great because I did great in Chicago, but to get to the next level in my career, I came here. And then in 2004, I had a holding deal with CBS. And in 2005, I was put on the ballot to be considered to be a nominee for my role as Anna Rodriguez on Without a Trace.
Yeah, wow. That's awesome.
So yeah, it was like things were going great, and
you were killing it. You're killing it.
I was killing it.
And by the way, so I came to LA in '88, and it's weird because I had watched. You were already doing great in Chicago, right?
Yes.
So here's the weird part about that. If people don't understand about show business, is that you start where you start. And then you become like kind of important there. You get big fish in a little pond, and then you have to make this. Then you have to do it again. Like now, I'm going to go to Los Angeles where it's really hard.
Yep.
But Chicago's pretty hard too. I would say I would go Chicago, Boston, San Francisco are three cities that it's not that far off of LA. If you start in Des Moines or something, you're like, I'm the baddest ass actor in Des Moines. Then you go to LA, you're like, oh shit, I'm a welder. That's what I do now. So LA's that you survive in LA and make it in LA. It really is. People say New York, but I think it's Los Angeles.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
It's tough. I think in New York you get so many opportunities, and here it's like slim to none.
Yeah, slim to none. There you go. That's my career. That's my.
Slim to
that is the name of my autobiography, actually.
That's the next special.
So here's what happens. So you're doing great in LA. The acting's going well, and then you got what?
Oh, I ended up with cancer.
Right.
Yeah.
I know, but what kind of cancer? Like,
I had.
Here's the weird part. I don't know. This whole weird. There's like this wheel of cancer now. You spin it, and they've nailed it down to like it's like. Like even if the doctor goes, well, the tests are positive, you still have to go. Oh God, now what kind?
Right.
You know
what's on the menu?
Yeah, and it's so funny.
It's like
because
the cheesecake of hell is what it is. Like you can pick what cancer. You're like, oh God, please.
Which one is it? Which one's
not
the
melanoma?
worst?
Not melanoma. Come on, something easy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, right. Give me the easy one. We just like remove it and be done with it.
Just one. It's just it's a mole. It's a mole. It's a mole. It's a mole. It's just a mole they can burn off. It's a mole. You're like it's like Vegas when you're waiting for the doctor to tell you. So go ahead, tell me.
Right. It's like you want to hit the lottery. Well, it's funny because when you look at cancer, right, it's just things that are off balance. It's your body's way of saying something's off and you've not taken care of me for so long that now, right?
F you.
Right. So what? Exactly.
It's like the body's middle finger, isn't it?
Exactly.
Because it's not trying to warn you. It's like, no, we're taking you out.
Yeah. It's like you didn't. You
We've
know
had
what?
enough of your shit.
I've had enough of your sugar intake or your abuse.
Yep.
Because you just ignore every time you feel icky the next day.
Right. Yeah.
So here you go.
Right.
And it depending on what part is weaker in your genetics, whether it's your lung or your heart or your breast or your, whatever, that's where you're going to end up getting it. Well, for me, it was in the lymphatic system, so I had Hodgkin's lymphoma. So
that means it's going through your body.
Right.
Okay.
Oof.
So in general, when it comes to something like that, most people go, "Oh my God!" When they freak out. But if they just take a moment and just listen to themselves, listen to their bodies and say, okay, so why did this happen? If our bodies are so perfectly made, if we get a cut, it heals, right?
True.
Our bodies are consistently always healing itself. Why in this particular moment did it stop working? Why did my immune system stop? Well, if you think of how your body is built, your body is made up of 100 trillion cells of microbiome, which is good bacteria.
Microbiome?
Yeah, microbiome.
Okay.
So it's good bacteria. The rest is made up of like 25 to 30,000, human genetic DNA genes.
Right.
So you have that small amount, and then the most of what you're made up is microbiome. When you feed those good bacteria, which is through plant-based, right? You get the nutrients and minerals and vitamins and all those things. Build that.
No chemicals, no process. The food hasn't been burned out.
Exactly.
When you eat raw and healthy.
Right. You're keeping those things healthy, and those things in turn keep your immune system strong and healthy. Because without your microbiome, your immune system wouldn't exist. So you keep that healthy, which in turn keeps your immune system healthy, which also in turn keeps your mitochondria, which is that also works together with your immune system, which is also in your cells. If we eat horribly, we drink horribly, what we put in, on, and around our bodies and what we breathe in, if we're not consistently nourishing, balancing, and cleansing our bodies, we start breaking those cells down. And that's where the immune system no longer can take care of if a cancer cell shows up.
Right, because you weakened your own immunity so far. It's like putting honey in a crankcase of a car. It looks kind of like oil. It ain't oil.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So
it's just building that back up.
So people think about that when you're eating it, and people always go, "Come on, I could eat. I didn't get took me. I ate the crap for 25 years." Exactly. Your justification for why you think you're not. It's not the cause of that. Is
Right.
the cause of that.
Yes.
It's the dumbest shit when people say that. Well,
Yes.
I've been eating like this my whole life. Fucking
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. And I
That's
think
what.
it's-
Try the other way.
And somebody
Yes.
always has like an anecdotal example of one person that they know of.
Yeah, there's
My neighbor
there's a
who
dude
lived till they
there's
were
a- Remember that
100.
dude in Italy?
Yeah.
He drank a fifth of scotch
Smoked every day.
and a brick of cheese, and he screwed anything that moved.
Yeah.
And he lived to 101. Yeah, he could have lived to 204.
Right, that guy
was
He
a
cut his life
superhero.
in a, yeah,
Yeah, and not-
exactly. That's
You know?
it.
And
He's
think
an
about
Avenger.
that.
Goddamn it, it's not you.
I always say that. It's like if you would lived to 100, can you imagine you could have probably lived to 200,
Right.
and people would have said, "You're 200, geez, you don't look a day over 50." Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Instead, when they're 100, you're like, "Geez, you look like you're 200," because they look they're in a wheelchair, they look beat the hell up, and it's like, sorry, they look so beat up,
Yeah.
and they look like life hurts.
Well, people always want to point to the
Wow,
outlier
that's
and say,
great.
"Oh, there's that
that's-
one."
Yeah, so you're gonna. Yeah, it's like winning the lottery. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
not that guy.
Right.
Wow, it's interesting. Life hurts. That's interesting. When you eat bad and put bad stuff in your body, life hurts. I'll be honest with you. I stopped. I was drinking a lot of wine. I'd stopped everything else, and then recently I just stopped. I just stopped drinking it, and in 2 weeks, my face thinned out. It was my skin. I used to have red blotchy things. I thought, well, I'm just getting old. No, I had a couple of dots on my hand. They're fading now. It's it's crazy. Well, because my liver would see when you show up with dots on your hand, your liver's saying, "Hey, bro, tone it down."
Right.
Like your
right.
body's telling
That's
you.
the, that's
your body's
enough.
sending out signals.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sending you a message on your fucking hand so you can read it.
you a text
asshole.
message right to your hand.
Exactly. It's right in front of your face.
Stop it.
Don't touch your face because of Corona. But yes. So your body will tell you. And people, that's the great sentence. Start to notice, does life hurt? Because if life hurts, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
It's not normal. That's the thing is we've accepted. You know, when you look back at history, they didn't have any medicine, really, but Benjamin Franklin, who was grossly overweight and didn't live his life, and they didn't have the hygiene and stuff he had, he was 86.
Yeah.
And they did it wrong.
Yeah,
They did
back
it,
then.
Yeah,
86 back then. That's like 300.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
in our time,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, he was a superhero for that time.
Yeah.
And so explain to me what happened. So people don't know why you know all this stuff. So Lourdes got cancer. It's a harrowing journey. They've written a book, her and her husband, Chris, right? Good, because like most actresses, she won't take this fucking name. I have one of those. But I don't want her. I guess I don't. She needs to be on her own. But I get it. I get it. I don't really get it. Did you hear the tone? I heard my tone. I'm like, I don't really get it.
Spots are coming up on.
You are my wife, woman. Name yourself after me. You will be a strong woman. So tell them what happened. So you got lymphoma. Give us a little background story, because I read they've written a movie script, guys, and the story is crazy. And she cured it twice.
Yeah.
She cured her lymphoma twice. And the story of how she did it, we're going to get to. But first of all, because Ray's not here, Mr. Highlander gets to do. Let me see.
Let's do. Okay.
Hey, how come you didn't shave today? Hey, let's do Ray.
Oh,
hey, you didn't shave today. Why did not you shave today?
I shaved recently.
Yes?
With my Harry's razors.
Did you?
Oh. Can you tell? Look how great I look.
So what's really weird is I was going to do the because now that we're filming this, I have this thing where I have a little white on my hair, like when it comes out like gray and white.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if I don't shave, it adds 25 years to me.
Right.
I look. I'm slowly starting to turn into Gandalf. So because so today I grabbed my hair razor, the ones in my shower for 2 months. Boom, nailed it. Clean. It's like so smooth. Here's what I don't get. Not only is it 5 blades and a German factory, but have you tried Harry's razors? Because Rachel had her Mach 3. She had they're the baddest ass razors on the market.
Yeah.
They've been ours for 3
attest
years.
to that.
We've got our military family to switch.
Yeah.
All our military, and they were like, "No, I don't. I got my damn razor."
Right.
And now they're on Harry. So go ahead, give me. What's the deal? We got this.
Harry's has an amazing offer for listeners.
I like that you took
of the
on an
Titus
entire
show.
game show. It's a game show host now. Go ahead.
All new customers get $5 off of the trial set. Yep. You go to harrys.com/Titus.
Yep.
All right, you'll get a 5-blade razor with a weighted handle, foaming shave gel with aloe, and a travel cover. Join the millions of guys who are already saving money and go to harrys.com/Titus. Claim your offer.
Do it like that. People, he wasn't reading that at all. He always talks like that when he talks about product. But by the way, so here's the thing: if you guys listen to the show, you know damn well that we always backed Harry's. Harry's, we are not kidding. The baddest ass razors that they currently make, and they're not going to kill you. They're not locked up in a case at the CVS.
Yeah.
You have to get a guy, and a Brinks truck pulls up, and they unlock the razors. Blades are like $19. Anyways, go to harrys.com/Titus. Get your razors.
Yep.
Now, what did you have? Sorry, we got a whore. We're barely keeping this place alive. The combustion lab needs to be paid for.
Yeah. So,
but we only take products. Just we only take products that we don't just take any product. It has to work.
Yeah, even though I'm reading it, I use it, and they are fantastic. Well, they're the best ones. So
since Rachel's not here, we get told read the copy as the copy should be read. Yeah. So let's read the copy.
Good woman.
Yeah.
Oh no, I want to try it. I mean, like I'm always looking for like the good razor for the ladies. I don't have much hair there, but
Harry's. Her legs are velvet.
And I like velvets. He's smooth.
I have touched them. Not yours, my wife's. Jesus Christ! What just happened? All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so once I was diagnosed, I actually realized that I needed to figure out why this even happened. I didn't want to go to do, like most people, the moment you get told you got cancer, you just sit back and then you let the doctor tell you exactly what to do. And that's it. You just hand over your life to the doctor.
Wait, aren't doctors and medical companies and drug companies, aren't they all committed to saving our lives? Wow.
I've met doctors that are. I met many doctors that are.
Ooh, the outliers.
Right? I would say yes.
So the people that have cured cancer, there's one guy and then there's one doctor that she's trusted. Wow.
Well, there's a few, but they go outside the box. So for me, I understood that each one of these doctors went to school, sat down, opened up those books, listened to that teacher, and whatever pharma fed them, that's what they learned. And then outside of that, nothing else is told. Right. So I figured...
Not only that, but if you bring up something outside of it, they just dismiss it. Like it's like
quick.
I've done the NUCA, which is it's an upper cervical adjustment, C1, and I used to have horrible back pain and sciatica. My brain. So they did all these studies on it. Did a blind study on it, and it was 90% blood flow to the brain after this adjustment. And it's basically they don't crack you. They just get you. They line you up perfectly. And every time I bring it up to a doctor, they're like like it's weird. It's almost
like defensive.
It's almost like someone being told there's another God besides Jesus. Like people believe in something else and no, it's not. It's only Jesus. Only pharma, only medical chemicals in your body will save you.
Yeah, it's like you almost like flung poo at them.
They get really weird.
How dare you challenge my training?
Even with documentation. So go ahead. So by the way, with you, people, this story is crazy, and I'll shut up and let her finish it. But I will tell you, it's insane because you never hear what happened to you. Go ahead.
And so for me, I got clear that I wanted to.
So you talked to doctors, didn't like what they said?
No, because I'm going, well, they're telling me the same thing they keep telling everybody else, but here we're still donating and doing marches for the cure. Well, then why am I going to do something that isn't a cure?
Right.
Because if it's a cure, we wouldn't be marching and donating to look for the cure.
Right.
So I thought, well, then let me look for the cure, because apparently the way you're doing it, it's not working.
Right.
So
look, we're all tired from marching. Nothing's happened.
Yeah, I mean, how many decades
we're still getting it.
And centuries are we going to keep going through that we're still looking for the cure? For the love of God.
Muscular dystrophy. Jerry Lewis worked his ass off for a lot of time, and they didn't. What happened?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So nothing's happening here. So I thought, well, then let me be the guinea pig. I have cancer. Let me figure out how I'm going to fix it and then learn myself. And interestingly enough, when I did that and I started really reaching out to people, I couldn't get over how many people actually contacted me who had cancer, who were terminal and turned it around in a different way. And I was like,
a different way than you did it. Or a different way than the doctors
Than the doctors do it, yeah.
So you decided, because I have this, I always say this about doctors. All you need is a C-. You get your, people when your doctor's telling you he's God or he has some sort of insight that you don't know, you're an idiot. You ever have a doctor just talk to you like you're an idiot?
Sure.
And a lot of people talk to me like that. I'm just used to it, I guess maybe. But I think at one point you have to question it. If you don't look, I question my car mechanic. If I get in the car and the brakes still don't work, I don't go. He goes, "That's what you're supposed to do." No, motherfucker, I paid you to fix the brakes. So same with doctors. Like they get it wrong all the time. They misdiagnose all the time.
Always.
All it takes is a C-. I'm not saying all doctors are bad because I've met a couple of great ones, but the 2 times in my life that my healing started almost instantly was one time was when I went to NUCA, NUCCA. Look it up, people. And the other time was I had hurt my foot really bad wakeboarding, and it was for 2 years. My ankle and my foot were messed up. I went to a acupuncturist, and he stuck needles in the other side of my body in an X. Like I go, wait, it's my foot. Why is it in my shoulder? It's in my left foot. Why are you putting it in my right shoulder? And 2 days later, my foot stopped hurting forever.
Wow.
Yep. Because they understand. They're taught in a way of how the body, works and how each thing works together. And if you think about it, it's kind of putting like the electrodes of your body, because people go, we are electricity. I mean, you can just rub your feet and shock somebody.
Right. Yeah, true.
So,
I think about that, yeah.
Yeah, and then when you're low on you're weak and stuff, what do they have you do when you're dehydrated? You have to get your electrolytes back in.
Right.
So it's all in the same game. So them doing that makes sense, that they're directing that part that works with your foot.
Right. So so electricity. So you cured yourself by sticking your finger in a light socket. Exactly how did this
right?
go?
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah. If that worked, you got to electrocute yourself a little bit.
Just a fork
just a
in it.
little bit. I think it's more like wiring yourself with certain needles that work in
rewind.
direct. Yeah.
So what did you do? So you found this out. You with the treatments. It's so funny because when you go, well, they always do what they always do. You got this chemo. You got this. The radiation
and chemo, or
which
surgery,
by the
chemo.
way, so I'm going to pump you full of chemicals, or we're going to irradiate you. And in certain cases, I had a buddy who had prostate cancer, very slow growing cancer. They put one tiny grain of radiation in his body, it went away, and he's never had it again. But so it does work for some people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How long has it been from?
I'm close to 10 years now.
Okay, yeah. Because once you pass the 15-year mark,
though.
Once you pass the 15-year mark, then you're good. It's in between the 15-year mark. Yeah. So, because that's why they always do like the 5-year mark, because the numbers are better.
Yeah.
Than the 15-year mark. But once you hit the 15th mark, the 15-year.
If you still don't have it.
And you still have it, then you're one of the 3% that actually.
What's the percentage?
3%. So yeah, so
3% of people that use any cure, chemo or radiation, only 3% make it to 15 years.
Right.
This is depressing.
Yeah, but a lot of times is because that 3% has done something different afterwards.
They committed to what kept it out. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they changed their lifestyle. They changed their stress level. They changed their intake. What they put in and around their bodies. Like they started really getting aware.
Stress level.
Yes.
Because I'm a stressy person.
Yeah. No, stress levels will actually affect your immune system, because it's compromising it, because you're so busy. It's like a fight or flight, right? So it's okay. Like if there's a bear coming and you need the stress levels to get up so that you can hurry up and take off. So all of the stuff that, like your organs and stuff, instead of them functioning at 100%, they slow it down so that everything else can get to.
So you can run like Usain Bolt, right? Right.
So, and that's okay for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It's not okay if you're stressing all day, because now your body's compromised for that many hours on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I'm so scared. I've had my own business since I was 19. I stressed about everything. I got to make it work. I work too hard. My wife, same way. She's had a lot of stuff, stress with family members, and her dad currently we just found out he has melanoma. So I want to hear what you did. So you had it. It was ravaging your body, right?
Yes. And one of the things I did was I did meditate, which I still do. I meditate on a daily basis. I take.
How long?
Well, it varies sometimes.
Because I'm getting stressed about that. Like, how long do I have to meditate?
Well, you know what? You can do it for like, you honestly can do it for 5 minutes a day is fine. I like to do it longer.
Just breathing and.
Yeah, and just sit back and just kind of get like, I love doing the binaural beats, where you just put headphones and you listen to the sounds for 5 minutes. And it's just, sometimes you zonk out in that relaxation, but it's okay because it's really relaxing you. So if you do 5 minutes a day, you're fine.
Sitting in a chair on the floor, lotus position, downward dog. I mean, is there
whatever? Whatever is actually. I always tell people, whatever gets you to be at the most comfortable, more relaxed state. I can't just sit because I'm not relaxed that way. I go to bed and I lay down so I'm completely relaxed, and I do it that way.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's just
Okay,
depends
so
on the person.
bad food, bad nutrition, and stress will kill you, people. You listening? Good. Go ahead. Continue.
And you want to, get into adding more like juices. And I want people to get clear what I mean when I say juice, because sometimes somebody will say, "Yeah, see, I'm blending." It's like that's not a juice. That's a smoothie. So when I say juice, I mean like you are getting a juicer and you're like sticking celery and cucumbers in there and you're juicing it. And the reason why I say juice is because if you do juicing at least once a day, if you can do more, great. But if you can't, once a day, what you're doing is you're saturating your cells. So your body doesn't have to break it down. When you use all of it, like, well, you need the fiber. Okay. So there's 2 types of fiber. You have the non-soluble, right? The one that does not absorb into your body,
Right.
and slows down the process of you absorbing the juice you just took in.
Oh, so because I hear, man, it's so. Does anybody know? Because I hear too much juice, too much sugar, it's going to hurt your sin. But and then they say you need the fiber, so it slows the absorption down.
No, so this is
I love it. She went, nope. Just like a doctor who knows too much.
yeah. It's like So this is the difference. So the soluble fiber that's going to carry, you can't juice that out. That's still there.
Right.
When you put that in, your body's getting saturated. So instead of it having like your body's breaking down, when you do juice, instead of having to go through the acid thing and break down and then you finally get some, right? But when you want to stay at 100%, when you juice, you're saturating those cells. And those cells, a lot of times when you juice a lot, you're just like, woo, you get all this energy, which is
I'm sorry to interrupt, but wheatgrass, Ray and I will do wheatgrass sometimes, and it affects me. Like I feel pressure in the back of my eyes. Like it does something to me. I don't know what, but I feel like I'm getting like I have like a wheatgrass buzz.
Yeah.
And I just feel a little bit like,
Because it gives a lot of energy.
Yeah, okay.
And wheatgrass has B17. Well, bees in general give you energy.
Right.
And B17, it doesn't just give you energy, but it also is a cancer fighter. So you can't go to the store and go buy B17. You can get B12, you can get any kind of B, but not B17. But B17 you will find like in the apple seeds. You'll find in wheatgrass. You'll find in anything that they say is an arsenic, nature's arsenic,
right?
But it doesn't cause harm.
So interesting because when I was a kid, we got in trouble. I threw an apple away once. I was a little kid, and my stepmom, we got in so much trouble, screamed at us. We got spanked. So now when I eat apples, I eat the whole apple. I eat the core and everything because and it's weird. I thought about the other day. I go, why am I fucking eating this whole apple core? It's because when I was a kid, I got in trouble for throwing an apple away, and it was a lot better riding your bikes. I don't want to throw this out. I'm going to eat the whole apple, so I don't have to go back to the house and throw this away. So I've been doing the right thing all this time.
Yes.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So those kind of things when you're doing, it's like, so it's
nature's
really just
arsenic. I'm sorry.
It is, and but it's like when you juice, and people go, oh, but you got this. It's like, okay, so first of all, anything you eat or drink, naturally your body breaks it down into a sugar. That's just a fact.
Got it.
Like you can ask any doctor, any scientist, any research. All foods and drinks break down into a sugar. So when it goes into your body, it breaks, and that's what causes energy, right?
Right.
Very different than the sugar that you buy at the store where you spoon it and it can last forever and it never goes bad. That sugar actually breaks down your body. That's a sugar that you shouldn't
So natural
have.
sugars, actually your body breaks them down and uses them. And processed sugar, it can't break it down.
No, it actually causes more. It causes the spike that you shouldn't have. And that's why you get the sugar crash, right? Mm-hmm. So it's because your body's breaking down. But when you're doing fruits and celery and veggies and stuff, you're not breaking down. Actually, it's the opposite. You actually have energy.
Okay.
And when they say, well, you need the fiber so that you can use the bathroom, I'll tell anybody, go get some juice. Like make your fresh juice at home or celery juice on an empty stomach. Give yourself a few minutes and tell me if you're not going to the bathroom.
All right, people. So
you're
we
going
want
to the bathroom.
So make a spreadsheet. Try. Let's do an experiment. Try no fiber and then try fiber. But make a spreadsheet. A poop spreadsheet, as it were.
Yeah.
As it were.
Spread on the spreadsheet.
But just keep track.
Put that on a spreadsheet.
I don't. It's so funny how many people come up with excuses. So you had this, okay, we're doing nutrition, now got this.
Right.
The story, just read the script that you guys wrote, which was really good. Harrowing. The shit that happened. I'm like, so you actually decided, I'm not going to do the normal treatment. I'm not doing chemo.
Right.
Okay. So you had it. Listen, I want to hear this story. I'm trying to let you talk and not interrupt. I'll ask questions and I'll try to shut up.
Sure.
Make sure I shut up. Okay.
Got it.
Go ahead.
Cut.
So, and of course, so I started reading tons of books and reaching out to other people who fought cancer naturally, and which is how I found out about Optimum Institute in San Diego.
The what institute?
Optimum Health Institute.
Optimum Health, got it.
Yeah. And
Is that Ojai?
Yeah, Ojai. OHI.
Rachel spent some time there with her
Yes.
mom. Yes.
Love that place.
Because of you, actually. It was because of you, Thomas.
Yeah, thank you. I try to help as
She
much as I
lost
can.
13 pounds in 1 week.
Oh yeah. What's so interesting because when you're saturating your body at that level, people go, oh, you can't drop that much weight in a week. Absolutely, you can, because most weight isn't really fat; it's inflammation.
Interesting.
So when you cut down things that create inflammation, like you said, you stopped.
It's insane. It was
wine.
Wine, yeah.
Well, because of all the sugar that it breaks down into in your liver, but because sugar generally, right,
Is it inflammatory? Yeah,
right? And
yep.
if you're overtaxing your liver can't do the over 500 functions, so you start getting inflammation. You're not cleansing like you should, because that's what the liver does.
Sometimes if I had drank a lot, my the next day my back would hurt.
Yeah.
That's my liver on this side, right?
Yep.
So people, if you're having back pain and you haven't really lifted anything or done hurt yourself, but you're drinking heavy, my back hurts. It's not your back; it's your liver.
Yeah. Give it a break already.
Yeah, right.
It's begging you. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like when you start saturating your body to that level with juices, and I mean, do a variety and go raw. Go raw for a while, and you're going to get so much energy, and whatever issue you have, you'll start noticing it's starting to go away. And there's a reason, because you're giving the body exactly what it needs so that it can start functioning like it should.
Right.
And the reason why, some people go, well, I've tried everything. Well, have you? Did you go 100% raw? Probably not.
How much candy are you sneaking at night?
Right.
What do you? Yeah.
Are you still drinking? Are you still doing sodas? I mean, even a can of soda.
I'm 100% raw and I smoke. What?
Yeah.
But
Right.
you hear that? No. My dad would say shit like pizza. My doctor said pizza's good for me. And I would go, Dad, your doctor didn't say that. There's no way
Right.
your doctor said all that processed white flour and cheese is good for you. It's not. And the meat?
Yeah. It's hard for people to kind of change their way of thinking, because that's what
Yes.
it really takes, is you have to really look at everything differently.
Yes.
And get all of that shit that's in your pantry, get it out and
You
start
do.
over.
You do. I mean, I think it's funny when people go, you need protein.
I hear that a
Oh
lot.
my gosh. Like, I can't tell you how I try to just breathe it out. Because
Wow, you look like you just got cut off by a Prius. Like, that's how mad you just looked when you said that. I hear that all the time. The guy I work out with, he's like, gotta have protein. Well, you can get protein from broccoli. You know.
everything has protein. How do you think the elephants and chickens and everything else gets protein?
Yeah.
It's the amino acids. Where do they get the amino acids from? Plants. It's in the plants that they get it, because it's all the minerals and stuff that come from the roots that you get the amino acids.
Yeah.
So when you're eating your broccoli, your celery, name any vegetable, when you eat that, it's got the protein. It's a whole food. It has proteins, minerals, nutrients, vitamins. They all do. It's a whole food. So when you're eating that, you're getting the protein, and then you're not getting excessive protein, because too much excessive protein, you're just going to get rid of it anyway. But if you're eating meat, that excessive protein just converts to bad fat, which is why when someone ends up with a heart attack, they don't say keep eating protein. They tell you to cut down on meat.
Right.
Why? Right. Why do they have you cut down on all this meat that's supposed to be so great for you? Oh, red meat. Or meat in general, if you get too much of it, it ends up converting to bad fats.
Right.
And guess where it's going to go? So when you see a person overweight, it's not just what you're seeing, it's also on the organs.
Oh, yeah, it's all
You'll have a
over,
fatty
sure.
liver, fat around the heart, and then you have a heart, that they can't take it anymore. So in general, what you really do need is more plant-based, because you're going to get your amino acids, which builds the protein of the muscle that your body needs.
Yeah.
I like that you're not saying, because you hear, okay, so here's the thing, people, you're listening right now, and we're hearing a nutrition thing that will save your life. And all I can tell you is this. Ray's mom went to Ojai, Optimum Health Center, and Ray's mom was stage 4 at the time, pancreatic, within 1 week. So, I'm talking, we had to kind of get on either side of her to walk her to the car. After 1 week, I think they stayed 2 weeks, but after 1 week at Optimum Health Center, she was walking up the hill to the thing. The problem is they it didn't stop it. Is that because it didn't stop it. It didn't save her. So, but you
Right.
guys
Well,
said-
what happens a lot of times is, and I've seen
but
this
I did
over and
see
over.
in
you're
1
right.
week, I saw a tremendous, like a change health-wise was crazy.
Yeah. Well, when I was there was quite a few people that were given 3 weeks to live and so forth, but then they come out of there cancer-free, because they stayed for 6 weeks, and then they continued that lifestyle.
Right.
Like they stuck to it. What happens is a lot of times you leave, you feel a little better, you go to the doctor, and the doctor says, you're not any better. even though you feel better, but they're telling you, ignore how you're feeling and listen to what I'm telling you. You're not any better. And then they'll convince you to do something like chemo or whatever, which is going to destroy you completely. But if you're not any better, why would I poison myself? I'm going to die anyway. Leave me alone. But I've had many people that they'll come out, and because the doctors will convince them to try just a little bit to extend their life, then they go and they get poisoned to extend their life, which makes zero sense. How are you going to poison your body and that's going to extend your life? How are you going to burn your body and that's going to extend your life? If you burn or kill cells, it's called death. That's not extending anything. Yeah. It's shortening things. So, when you look at the whole picture, you have to really pay attention. Say, okay, the doctor said I'm not any better, but my body is telling me I am better because I didn't have energy. I have energy. I couldn't walk. I can walk. You know what I mean? Like that means you're improving. And if you're improving, you are getting better.
That means because she got rid of it once. She got entirely rid of it. They said there was they couldn't read any cancer in her, and she kind of went back to her whole lifestyle, with food and stuff.
Which is
did that make a difference? Does that make it? Is that what will bring it right back?
Well, yeah, because you have to always remember that lifestyle you had in the first place when you were diagnosed, it was the lifestyle that caused it in the first place.
Right.
So if I'm eating and being a certain way and all of a sudden I get sick with cancer or, diabetes or whatever, it was what I was doing. So once I get better and then I go back to that,
it's coming right back.
It's going to come back.
Right.
Each and every time. So for me, I always tell people, like, once you get better and you're improving, just stick with that. You got something against feeling good? Like, I don't understand.
No, as a species, we're morons. I'm sorry. You can go through history. We just have. I'm not making something up.
We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, right. We're morons. As a species, we're pretty incredible. The stuff we come up with, and then we find a way. We invented this new thing that's going to save humanity. How do we turn it into a weapon? That's what we do all the time. So, you cured cancer with nutrition. Now I'm going back to cheesecake and Philly cheesecake and Cheesecake Factory cheesecake. Yeah. So, and then you get cancer again. Like, well, I cured it once. I'll do it again.
And that's it's so funny because it's like you look at in general, people will go, oh, well, now I'm better. And I know it's a habit of after so many years, of living your life a certain way, it is tough. Yeah. But if you give yourself time, if you look at yourself and say, I'm worth it. Right? You just look in the mirror, and every time you get tempted, you're like, no, I'm worth doing the right thing for myself. Because eventually it'll become such a habit that I don't want to go back to it.
Yeah, I wanted to go. We still have wine around. I didn't go, psycho and let's get all the alcohol in the house. Because my whole thing is I can control my own.
Right.
I can control my own. And last night I really wanted a glass of wine. I'm like, nope. Yep. And I think I've had one glass, but I used to drink 5 glasses a night. I had 1 glass once. And since in 30 days, and so and you know what I didn't notice. You know the weird thing is, so before I was used to it. I was doing it, and that's the problem with same with food, like meat and cheesecake. Your body just gets used to it,
right?
And so that's what you do, right? Well, so what I did was I had the 1 glass of wine after having 30 days without it. And man, I woke up I used to drink a bottle. I had 1 glass and I woke up the next morning and it wasn't bad. I wouldn't have a hangover, but I was like, I just feel shitty.
Yeah.
I just don't feel good. You know?
Because your body's now realizing.
My body had 30 days off and was like, and I didn't drink for years. And then the last 10 years I was fine. I can handle it. But all my genetic history aside with my family, I was just health-wise. I had 1 glass of wine. I was like, nah.
That's the thing. It's like
my body was kind of like, what a dick, dude.
Yeah,
like,
you really have to listen.
Yeah, you are doing good.
Exactly.
You have to listen really and get in tune and really be aware of what you're eating and how you're behaving and how much every second of the day. You really have to focus, and that's hard for people to try to focus because they've got their jobs and families and kids and all this other stuff coming.
Yeah, justification,
and
reason,
Netflix and things and
So I asked Tony Horton that. I said, Tony Horton's a friend of mine, and he's on the podcast. I said, name drop. I said, dude. I said, how? I go, you're 61 years old. You're ripped. Yeah. You work out. We have these. We do this thing Sunday workout at his house, and everybody comes over, and there's these young kids. I mean, I'm talking 25. That he's doing more pull-ups. He's doing crazier stuff than there. And I go, how do you do what you do? And he goes, it's all day, every day. Mm-hmm. He had no cheat days. He's like, it's all day, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
so
eat
true.
right every day. You take the supplements you need every day. You work out every day.
Yep.
And when people hear that, even I was like, "Oh, it's fucking every day."
Every day. It sounds exhausting. Well, it's so funny.
So here's what we don't know. Here's what we
Yeah.
don't know. So people, we're sitting here talking like someone, always go, "Yeah, well, you don't know." She's talking nutrition, juice, blah blah blah. We have literally a experiential thing. Now, I want to tell you, so you had cancer. You went to the doctor. The doctor said you want a chemo. Then
Yes.
then you said, I'm not trying chemo. I don't want to do it. I've seen people on chemo. It ain't work. Everybody who I've talked to that had chemo, and if they died, they were like, I would never do it again.
Yeah. It's so bad.
Yeah. So tell me what you did. Because by the way, the twist in this story is crazy to me. What happened? Go ahead.
So, I started turning things around. I juiced
No, what did you
every
do?
day.
Here in the States.
Yes.
Okay.
Here in the state, I juiced every day. I went to Optimum Health Institute for 3 weeks. I mean, the change of how my body felt. And it was just, I did, when I was at Ojai, I did wheatgrass enemas on a daily basis.
Yep.
I did them twice a day.
Totally humiliating, but totally worth it.
It's so worth it. It's like, if you can go to the doctor and have him, do a rectal check, this is nothing. This is you. And people go, oh, I don't want to. It's like, look, your turd is bigger than this little thing that's going to go in. It's like this rubbery little thing that's tiny. But I did.
It's not that. It's that you're laying on your side and someone you don't know
Right, yeah,
is
yeah,
looking
yeah.
up your butt, and they're like, "All right, now I'm going to we just juice this, blink," and then they, there is a, it's humiliating. It's how your gas tank must feel in your car. It's
Something's coming in from the
yeah,
side.
like, ow, ow.
What is this?
Yeah,
It's cold and
well, you
weird.
lubricate it with some coconut oil. You're good. You're good. Well,
Okay. I want more detail on what happened to you. Less detail on how to insert something in your ass.
So I did. When I was at home, I did 4 coffee enemas a day. When I was at Optimum Health Institute, I did.
And you had history. Like there was testing done on you. You had cancer cells in your body. You had lymphoma.
Yes.
And
yeah.
And you said, no, I'm not doing chemo. I'm doing this.
Yeah.
So you juiced.
And it's so funny because the doctor just looked so frustrated with me, and he was just like, "I've had people that did that and they didn't make it." And I'm like, well, then they weren't 100% in what they were doing then. It's just that simple.
Yeah, I go, does everybody on chemo make it? I just said,
Right?
Yeah, right. Right.
Exactly. They don't.
No, they don't.
No, and then they end up with it again. It's like, well, if it worked, why am I coming to you every 3 months to be checked to make sure it's not back again? If it worked, I'm good, right? But that's not the case. That's why it's remission. You're just in remission. It's sitting there. We'll wait to see if it's going to grow again.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. But, so I just started nourishing. I started doing a lot of green juices. The greener, the better, because, it just has more of an alkaline pH level of what you need.
does alkaline water make a difference too?
Yeah, you want to do all of it. In fact, I did. They always say to drink on a daily basis like half your body weight in ounces.
Mm-hmm.
So if for example, you're 100 pounds, you want to do 50 ounces in a day.
Okay.
Not all in one shot, but
Right.
throughout the day.
Of water or juice?
Of water.
Okay.
And then, of course, juicing is amazing because juicing, the water of the juice itself, I think it's like called E3 or something like that, but it's the same as like what your blood is made of, right? So so you're similarly doing the same thing. You're kind of just, in
You're
fact,
not making your body work to convert something into something it needs.
Right.
You're putting it in as it goes.
Exactly. In fact, wheatgrass and green juices, they carry, especially wheatgrass, they have all the vitamins and minerals except iron, right? No, I'm sorry, it has iron, but then your blood has everything with the magnesium, but those two together create magnesium helps you build up your iron.
Right.
So doing these green juices, you're building up your iron. And people go, we need protein to build your red cells.
Right.
Well, I got to tell you that when I used to be a meat eater many moons ago, most of my life I was anemic. And I was a meat.
I like you started talking like a Native American too, because of all this stuff. Many moons ago.
Many moons ago.
Very many years ago, when I started eating the buffalo, stopped eating the buffalo.
When the moon would come
and
up and
I only
rise
went
on
to the grasslands and I ate them. My body has changed, and now I will be here many moons longer than I was
that's right.
before.
And I will be many moons longer. But that's the thing. It's like that. When I used to eat meat, I was anemic. Now
Wow, really?
yeah. Now I've been vegan for about 10 years now, right? I'm not anemic.
And you're thin, like you're really thin. You look amazing. You look
Thank
like you're
you.
23 years old.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Yeah. Love you. You tell me more. But you know what I mean? So it's like, so when people go, but you need it for, because of the iron, I'm like, but I was eating meat and I was anemic. I had
iron, and broccoli's got iron up the yin yang.
Yeah.
So do Brussels sprouts. Yeah.
Exactly. But it made it, I was like, that makes no sense because I used to be a meat eater and I was anemic. I'm not a meat eater anymore and I'm no longer anemic.
Right.
So something's
People
not
hear
truthful
by
there,
the way,
right?
If you're sitting in your car and you didn't quite hear what she just said, rewind this a little bit and see what she just said. When she was eating meat, she was anemic. When she was supposedly getting all the, quote, iron and protein she needed, she was anemic. Then she stopped doing that, eat vegetables, and now she's not anemic.
Yeah.
Pay attention to, and I'm not talking a doctor saying it. I'm talking experiential. This happened. I had cancer. I changed my entire life and cured cancer. So you cured it with the juice. It went away.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't a medical mistake. They didn't misdiagnose you.
No, there was no. In fact,
Get in the face.
no. I have all. I actually got copies of all the documents,
Right.
And I kept with me because I wanted to make sure that if they ever come back and say, "Oh no, this or that," it's like, well, really,
Right.
So it's important. Even people that are getting treatments, it's really important to always ask for those copies. And then when you don't know what the word is, with the wording that they, their terminology, just go on the internet and type in that word, so that you can understand what it really means. So if it says no cancer, why are you still doing the treatment?
So you're telling me, make sure when you go to the doctor and he tells you what you have, get copies of everything. So
Everything. Because you have to understand that they're going to tell you what they're supposed to tell you because that's the training they get. And if they say, you come here, you tell them this, but this part you just keep to yourself, they don't need to know this. In fact, if you go to the emergency room, you'll notice that you'll go for one thing, they'll do tests, it'll show all these other things, they won't even mention it, they'll give you the copies of that, and they'll just say, you're fine with this. And so then everybody just goes home and they toss the paper. Read it. Because you'll look at, in fact, I went with my husband and he had his checked in for kidney stones. But there was other things that showed up that they didn't even mention. They just kept it out. So I'm like, oh. So now this is what we got.
Repeat customer. You want to don't say nothing. Why? Okay, because we're gonna need to make a little more money in 3 months.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And then the person comes back with another issue, right?
Wow. So you cured it. So I want to. So people, here's what she did. She juiced. She went pure vegan.
Pure vegan, raw vegan.
Raw vegan.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to get rid of to where they couldn't find it in your blood anymore?
Well,
The lymphoma.
When I did it, so this is how it goes. I went to Optimum Institute, was almost done with cancer because I only in 3 weeks.
After you went to Ojai.
Yes,
So
and
you retested after Ojai and it was pretty much gone?
pretty much gone. Like there was hardly nothing left, and then
Of the lymphoma?
right. And
People,
3
Optimum
weeks.
Health Center, look it up. People, it's in San Diego. I have a family experience with it too, and Ray and her mom went, and the difference it made in her mom was crazy.
Yeah, it's like night and day.
Yep.
And so, and then I started learning that there is this particular scan that they do for cancer patients to find, to stage where your cancer's at. And so when I looked up and I thought, okay, what's a PET scan? It's not just a typical regular scan.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to the PET scan, because by the way, I need you, after we come back after this other advertisement, I want you to tell me about what sugar does and why this PET scan is so dangerous. Or why you think it's dangerous. Go ahead. What else we
Ambush
got?
adverts.
Yeah, come on. Are you going to do your radio voice again?
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll be right
just
back
talk
with
like
the Titus podcast.
doing it. Just stop doing it.
I love
It's
it.
hard. I can't. It just comes out like
I
this.
know.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Do you have an experience with CBD oil?
Oh, I love CBD. Yes.
Oh, perfect.
Wow.
You
How
should.
much
This
is
is
CBD? This feels?
This is feels. Yeah.
So we
Oh
had
my
this-
gosh, CBD is amazing. First of all, our bodies naturally have CB1 and CB2, and like CBD is kind of like the missing puzzle. So when you're putting that back into your body kind of regulates itself. So if you have cancer, certain issues, or pain or inflammation, CBD is extraordinary to be taken. Whether it's in fact, they even have creams. So you have pain in a certain area, rub it there. You're going to notice
Really?
it goes away. If you want to put it under your tongue, they have the drops.
Yeah.
It takes like 14 seconds once you put it on your tongue to go into your bloodstream. But it's CBD.
CBD, really?
CBD is amazing. Yes, everybody should be using CBD, even if you're not sick.
Well, we have this
Wow.
great company, Feels, who
yeah.
they do this high concentrate of like very pure
Oh,
CBD.
that's awesome. Okay.
And we use it. Ray and I started using it. Ray was having sleep issues, and they went away. She was having pain issues with her stomach. It calmed it down. I had sleep issues. I took some last night. Went to sleep the night before. I was up till 7 in the morning. All this traveling and all this. What do they call it when you're on the
body
jet
clock?
lag?
Jet lag, yes.
Jet lag. And I called him. I was like, I'm not going to be in for a while. I didn't go to sleep till 7 a.m. this morning. And then last night I took CBD out.
Yeah.
Got 8 hours and I'm awesome. Go ahead,
Yeah.
tell us.
I have yet to try it, but I'm hearing
try
about it. I'm
Yes.
like, okay, I need
Yes.
to try this.
Also
So
mental acuity too. It's really good.
right, is that a hint for my mental? Yeah, I'm kidding.
No, I'm sorry. you were just late today. So,
So
you could read a clock
We
better.
have a. That's good.
I'm gonna ask. Good.
We have a deal. So if you become a member today by going to feels.com/Titus, you'll get 50% off your first order with free shipping. So that's feals.com/Titus. Become a member, get 50% off, automatically taken off your first order with free shipping. Feals.com/Titus.
Now, the thing for me with CBD is that for me it's almost like, as long as there's no THC in it. If it's THC in it, I'll get a little loopy.
Oh yeah. Or the THC is what
Yeah.
THC is what gives you the buzz. CBD does
Right.
not. There's a big difference.
Is there any benefit to THC?
There are some benefits. In fact, when you put the two components together, they seem to work really well together. I personally stay away from the THC. I don't like the buzz.
Yeah. You have to get used to it because it scares me.
I can't. I get paranoid. I get that paranoid feeling.
We were on a road trip and Rachel had taken some CBD, but I have a 1-to-1 THC and she took too much.
Oh.
And she was she told me hour after it went away, she goes, I was in the car and she goes, I was doing things like, well, I need to roll the window down now. Just act like everything's fine. Oh, he's talking to you. Turn and talk to him. Well, yes, change the radio station to something you like and look forward. She was running it in her head, and so I think these people that are good at THC are they've just done it long enough. I think there's a point you get to it where you just get used to it, right?
Yes, that's
but
what
is there
it
any
is.
downside to THC?
Well, I think it keeps you.
Does it
You know,
make
you're
you-
like you're tired all the time. You really don't want to do anything and stuff.
Interesting. That's true. Yeah.
That's too much meditation.
Yeah,
too much of
it's
it. Yeah.
way too
You
much
need a balance.
relaxation. You need a balance. But for me, it's like, in fact, it's so interesting that there's CBD everywhere. And when I was fighting cancer, I couldn't find it nowhere because it was considered outlawed. So you couldn't use it.
Stage 1, stage 2 classification.
Yeah, and I'm
program.
going, CBD doesn't even give you a buzz, but you weren't allowed to. In fact, any place that had,
because it'll shut down. It shuts down all the medications. And
Right.
for me, it's like a Prozac. It calms me
Yes.
down if I just do
Yes.
CBD.
Yep.
So people don't understand that DuPont actually shut down. We used to have hemp fields. Some of our founding fathers had hemp fields. They used it all the time. Rope, you can grow 3 crops a year. And by the way, I am not a pothead in any way, shape, or form. But when you start looking at the economic benefit of it, you can grow 3 crops a year. You can actually make rope out of it, clothing, canvas, covers, plastics. Now they're making with a hemp-based plastic that's also more biodegradable. There's this list of shit that goes with hemp and CBD that and of course they wanted it because anybody can just grow it. If they outlaw it, then you can't grow it. Then I have to go buy nylon and stuff that's going to poison our air and water.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah. In fact, if you grow it, it's even better because you can actually take those leaves and juice it just like you do wheatgrass,
Really?
and that's another way of fighting cancer and building up your immune system. But it was hard. Like you could find the stuff that they sell at the stores. It's all dried out.
Yep.
You can't juice that.
Right.
So it was really tough. Like during that time, I'm going, you've got to be kidding me. How can I find this stuff? Because any place, in fact, in California, where dispensary where you had to have, a prescription,
card, yeah.
you still couldn't find it because if they even sold it, they would get shut down. Wow. So I'm like, but CBD doesn't even give you a buzz.
Right.
So what's the big
Well,
deal?
of course, the big pharma. I mean, does big pharma want to shut it down?
Right.
I'm asking.
Yeah.
Do they?
Well,
yeah.
but now what they're doing is because it's
Now they're co-opting it.
right?
Yes, now they're
'cause
taking
it's-
it.
Right now they're like, okay. So now they're creating their own. But I wouldn't buy theirs because it's like I'm clear that anything they take, in fact, a lot of the prescriptions are taken from plants because they found that plant did this thing. Well, then just give them the plant. Why are we pulling that one thing out?
No. We
need to
need
make it a chemical.
We need to put we need to add another atom to it so we can actually patent it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
They change it.
And then
we
that
own it,
other
yeah.
Make it
added
unique,
chemical
right.
breaks down. And that's why in everything you look at, they all have side effects.
Right.
Well, because your body can't take it, so it's going to break certain things down, which is going to create these effects.
Right. So you cured your lymphoma.
Yeah. All
Cured
right.
it on
So-
your own with juicing and everything.
Right.
Went back to the doctor, cured, and what happened?
Right. So So first I go and it's almost gone, and I find out about the PET scan. And the PET scan, I find that it's actually radioactive sugar. So radioactive.
Great name for a sugar company, by the way. Radioactive sugar.
So, sugar. Excuse me. So sugar in general breaks down your body.
Right.
It's a cancer causer, cancer feeder. Radioactive, again, cancer causer, cancer feeder.
Then why does it kill cancer?
Well, they have to do such a high dose, right? Which
Kills
is why,
everything.
It kills
right,
everything.
Kills
Right.
everything. But also, if you look at the side effects of radiation and chemotherapy, they both are cancer causers.
Right. Radiation causes cancer. Right.
Right.
We know that. We all
So
know.
if you look at, like, you go get radiation treatments for cancer, before you sign it, if you just pay attention and look at side effects, one of the side effects is more cancer. Right?
We're gonna look back on this one day. I just saw 200 years in the future when the people go, gather round, children. They used to give people radiation. Oh no, we've eradicated that from the planet. I know, we shot it into space, but and they used to put it inside humans. They were stupid. Yes.
How did you guys cure cancer?
They were stupid.
We didn't. We gave them
didn't.
cancer.
Yeah. Now let's talk about the President Trump. That's why there's only 30 of us left.
But see, that's the thing is that when you look at even chemotherapy and you look at it
Cancer.
also says more
It
cancer.
says it on the sign you form.
Yeah, so if you
on the
look-
sign you form, on the form you sign.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I'm forming a sign.
Well, even if you go on American Cancer Society and you look up side effects to chemotherapy and radiation, they're both going to say more cancer.
Wow.
So, and it's going to give you a list of all the, lung cancer. If you get it for Hodgkin's lymphoma, it can cause lung cancer, breast cancer, and it gives you this long list. You're like, wow. So they all still give you cancer.
Wow.
So when I found out about the PET scan, I thought, okay, my cancer's just about gone.
Right. I don't have any. It's going away.
Right.
I've obviously shown with like if you're an experiment, you basically
Yes.
committed an experiment on yourself.
Yes.
Against all advice.
Right. Everybody thought I was nuts.
I just love that you're dumb like me.
That's the
That'd
only
be
way.
crazy like me. Like I'm like, yeah, I'm not. I've seen people on chemo. I don't want. That's not.
I don't want to
If
be
I'm
that.
out, if I'm going out, I ain't going out like
I'm
that.
not going out like that. I'll figure this out.
It's literally a line from my dad.
And it was interesting because then I go, this actually spreads and causes cancer. Do people know this?
So this is a radioactive sugar. So it's two
Yeah.
things that inflame cancer. Now they want to shoot it into you,
Right.
so it'll light the cancer up. Because by the way,
Right.
here's how the PET scan works. They shoot radioactive sugar into you.
Yep.
By the way, cancer loves sugar.
Loves
Loves
it.
it.
It thrives on it.
So what it does is it lights up the area because it starts growing. So there's heat there.
Yep.
So basically that's how the MRI reads
Yes.
it, right?
Right.
So they
So,
basically they basically supercharge your cancer to see that you have cancer.
Right. Because a normal cell won't react that way.
Do you get this, people? It actually supercharges your cancer
yes.
so they can see your cancer, which means they're growing more cancer so they can see cancer. Do you
Right.
get that?
Yes.
Keep going. What happened to you?
So so I thought, let me go do this test so I can show the before and after. Because if I
Because
do
you proved that you could cure it.
right.
Go ahead.
So for me, I'm going, if I wait till it's completely gone, then it's not going to show anything. But if I do it while I still have some, it's going to spread that and I can show the difference. And then I'll just go back and clean myself out and be fine.
Oh, so you see, that's what. Remember, I said we're morons. We're as a species, we're morons. This is your moron part. Where you're like,
Yeah.
well, I've already cured cancer. I'm a superhero. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let them give me cancer again.
I
and
got
then I'm going to
this.
cure it again.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to show them, right? So and I'm like, I'm going to document this. I'm going to be the guinea pig. And
Very
so,
cool, though.
So I go and I had just a little bit of cancer left. I go in there and they inject me with this.
What did the doctor say about when they saw what you? Because you obviously looked healthy when you came back after the juicing. What did they say?
Nothing.
They were freaked out?
They don't care. No, for them, they ignore what they're seeing because as long as they have documentation saying you have cancer and the only way you can do this is through chemotherapy and radiation, they don't care what you say. And if you come back with no cancer, it was a miracle. That's it. They were not going to address what you did. It just won't happen.
I like that the the entire profession is science-based. I'm like, well, you got rid of it on your own? It's a miracle. It must be Jesus. Jesus helped us.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like somehow,
It's
oh my gosh.
amazing
Yeah.
that like, it's all science-based up to you cure it without their science.
Right.
And then
it's a miracle.
It's a miracle.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I thought, well, let me
Can I
go do
touch
this.
you? You're like, Jesus, like Jesus.
So I go and I do this test, and when they inject me, what was interesting is that they did something completely different. So I go to do the PET scan. They do two. So they come in with this big metal
They usually do 2 or just specifically for you?
No, they usually just do this one. They come in with the syringe and they inject you, and then 45 minutes later you go into the machine.
Right.
On this one in particular, they came with this metal box, and inside the metal box was this big, huge metal syringe.
Metal syringe?
Yeah, the whole thing was metal. And then
Sounds like a caulking gun or something.
it was
Why?
it was really weird. It was really, really strange. It looked like from out of, like
Right.
into
like
the future or something.
Like
It was just
Blade
weird.
Runner or something.
Yeah, it was just really weird. And I actually addressed that. I was like, oh, that's so weird that
Maybe it's
I've
got
never
to be
seen-
like insulated in a way so
Well, because
the people
they-
using
Radiation.
it. Yeah.
Because there's
Right.
radiation in
Yeah.
it.
But the interesting part is that any PET scan before and after that, I'd never had it done that way. It was just a syringe. So this extra one they did, and then once they injected that, which instantly I felt like bubbles, like my tumors were growing. It was really gross feeling.
You could feel it.
Oh, it was disgusting.
So you've
it
been
was fast.
So here's the other thing too, is that people don't know this as well. Like, so yeah, you're gonna cure cancer if you do juicing. What you don't realize is that, and Ray and I went through a couple when she was training for that fitness show. We went through a couple phases where we ate super clean and juicing like
Nice.
crazy, and especially when her mom was sick, we actually juiced a lot. You start to be very aware of your body. You start. What happens is guys, all that fat and stuff that you build up in your organs with all that bad food. What happens is that goes away, and now your body's operating so efficiently that it's like a trained athlete where they know every little millimeter, every tiny nanosecond of their body because they're in such good shape.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you juice and you clean your system out. Like
my
this,
gosh,
right?
yes.
So you were
feel
aware.
amazing.
So they injected you, and you were instantly aware that something was going on.
Oh my gosh, instantly. It was just, I could feel it, and it was like,
Ugh.
ew, it was just really gross.
Body
It
started
felt like somebody was blowing bubbles. It was
Oh.
really a gross feeling. And I thought, okay, this is not good. And then he came and gave me the second injection, which was the actual PET scan.
So what was the first injection?
I will never know.
They never told you. Never got a piece of paper that said what they put in you first.
No, because once they did that, the guy, I had all my information on the screen, and then once he did that, he just deleted that information.
Here's where the story gets weird, people. This is where. So you got you. So let me explain it. So I just read the script, and you have a documentary called.
Create Options Team: My Journey with Cancer.
Yeah. Okay. So where can they get that? Where can they look that? Is it out yet?
It's not out yet. It's so complicated because it's done, but I have this issue with someone who doesn't want to. It does it anyway.
So
we're
it's
working,
not out yet. So
it's not out yet.
The simple thing is, when
not
will
out
it
yet.
be out? And what can we do to help you get it out?
Jeez, I would like to get it out like yesterday.
Okay, so we'll talk about that after.
Okay.
Well, combustion films can help if we'll do what we can. This is what I want to say, because I actually have someone that we'll talk about distribution.
Okay.
That being said, so people, here's what happened. She actually cured it. She had lymphoma. They saw it. They had evidence of it. They wanted to put her on chemo. She said no. She actually wanted to do her own thing. I get this, by the way. All the people I seen in chemo, I'm like, I'm out. Nope, not doing it. I'm gonna go eat. And if and I'm gonna do everything I can up till the end. And if I'm gonna die anyway, then I'll have a pizza before I go out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, I'm gonna.
Right.
So
Cheat
you
meal.
did that, cured it, went back in. They injected you with something out of a weird metal syringe. Have you looked that up? What that could have been?
No, but I always keep to think about. I need to go and look what that is. I don't know if I'll ever find
What's
what that
the
is.
only drug? I mean, there's got to be a list of things that they can only deliver in a metal syringe.
I don't know. I know that whatever it was, they.
I find it unusual you haven't looked it up after all this time.
I know, isn't that? Well, somebody actually told me the other day, "Hey, did you ever think of looking that up?" I'm like, "No, I should." And then, of course, I get a million calls a day, and then by the time I'm done, I don't even think about it anymore.
You're
But-
looking it up today.
Yes.
By the way, quit screwing around with this, guys. I mean, seriously, look up what they did.
Yeah.
Because after they shot you with the first syringe,
That's where I felt the growth.
Right, and then they shot you with the PET scan stuff.
Right.
The radioactive sugar.
Right.
And then they deleted what they did with the first one.
Right. And so the guy, so the weird thing was his explanation of why he deleted the information, because he did scan my
ID,
my
right?
ID, right? And then he goes, oh, we have to delete all that so that if any other hospital decides to hack in, they don't know what we've done. And it's like,
Oh, a
right.
lot of inter hospital hacking going on. Is there?
Well, that's weird because first of all, they do a different type of CAT scan. Isn't a PET scans done exactly the same anywhere else because there's the same companies that they get their stuff from. So it made zero sense to me. That's the only one that I have not been able to
shady.
to get.
Yeah, so then
I've been
what
able to get
happened?
every scan that I've had. The documents of that, I cannot get that one.
So
at
your
all.
cancer came back.
Oh, it was everywhere. It like by the end of that day, my stomach looked like I was pregnant, and there was movement. My liver was so enlarged.
By the end of that day,
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Yeah, and by the end of the week, I had it looked like I had a baby head sticking out of my armpit.
Seriously?
It was everywhere.
Did you take any pictures of this?
Oh, it's in. Actually, I recorded it.
It's in the documentary.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's everywhere. It was so bad.
So now now cancer's come roaring back. Whatever.
Yes.
Now we can't prove. We only have causation.
The cause and effect kind of thing. I go there.
Yeah, but correlation is not causation. So, but you think that you instantly felt with that first syringe that something changed in your body to the point where you're like something's bad wrong.
Yes.
And they did the PET scan. So now they've amped your cancer up again.
Yeah.
Then within a day it came back.
Yeah. Well, you could see it.
Oh my God.
It wasn't like you couldn't
Did you see
it.
I'm asking her. Did you see? Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
In fact, he
Her
freaked
husband
out.
Chris is nodding a little vigorously.
Like when he saw how my stomach got big,
Yeah, I'm
and then
panicked.
it looked like it moved, like there was a child in there, and in the liver side. He just freaked, and he's like, "I told you not to do this test." And it's like,
thanks for that, asshole.
like-
That's exactly
but
what I
he
needed
was
to
so
hear.
frightened, like his
course.
face, you could tell he was just
Yeah,
terrified.
he's going to lose his most
Yeah,
important thing.
and the weird thing was that whatever they did to spread it like it spread, it was like glue, because no matter what I was doing, it was not going away.
So you started juicing again instantly. It didn't affect you.
Nothing I did. I went to Optimum Institute. It got so bad that I ended up with like 5% use of one lung. Like it was that bad. I was barely breathing.
So my question is this: whatever they did, so let's say we don't know what they did. We don't know for sure, but it came back so aggressively that you couldn't turn it around
At all. It was so bad I couldn't turn it around.
So you had to face basically if you have a lung that collapsed. Your lung collapsed.
No. I just said my lungs were so full because I had an opening in the chest cavity, so all the fluid just kept dumping in. So no matter what I was doing, it just kept.
Why'd you have an opening in the chest cavity?
Because after the shot that they gave me and everything spread, I had this instant cough that wouldn't go away.
Oh yeah.
So the tumors that grew.
So you
kept
coughed so
rubbing,
much.
that it rubbed against the cavity and it opened it up. So now I had 5% use of one lung. The other one was just full.
How
I was barely
pissed were you
breathing.
that you cured this once and now they did it to you again? Well, I'm not going to say they did it. It came back. Let's just say it came back. Only because doctors are litigious. They're kind of courty. They're kind of lawyery. Doctors.
So I was like, I couldn't think too much of anything other than I was breathing and I was alive, and I tried to take as much breath as I can and had to keep thinking of what I could do. So at that moment, I laid in bed and I just prayed and said, please let me find the right person, the right circumstances that can fix that has nothing to do with chemotherapy or radiation or surgery. And we, at that time, left to Optimum Institute. And
what were they saying? Did you feel better at all after Optimum?
Nothing would work. Nothing. I couldn't even put anything in my body to even let it work.
And you're already a rail. You were already thin.
And so it was just like, it was so like, and then the tumors were so everywhere and everything hurt. So at this point, and then at that time, my husband was freaking out.
Now we're going to do this. So basically, we're at the place where she had lymphoma, cured lymphoma, got a test from the doctor. Lymphoma came raging back, and now you got tumors, and now we got one more ad. Dude, come on, man! You're supposed to be on your job. I know it's riveting, but come on.
Oh no, I was trying to do what Bombshell does. Bombshell. I'm trying to smooth it in.
I'm working on
it's like I'm looking for an opening. Well, speaking of being aware and getting control of the things that you're eating and timing things out, and ButcherBox is a great option.
So you
however,
doctor in this one, ButcherBox, you can get a box of meat.
But this is a clean, grass-fed, high-quality meat. This isn't
that makes a difference too, doesn't it?
Well, if someone's going to eat meat, like I just don't. But if someone's going to eat meat, then you want to do as healthy as you can.
Right, and these guys do no antibiotics, no hormones, grass-fed. So
which is important.
Yes, and so people, when you do eat meat, I mean, first of all, ButcherBox they don't process it. It doesn't do anything. They don't do anything to the meat that actually would make it help cause this stuff. No added sugars, no added preservatives, nothing. When you call it, they give you a giant box of meat. Keep telling them, read it.
So right now,
by the way, I still eat meat, so I'm not Orthodox.
But as do I.
Well, so this meat is like how it used to be.
Yeah, this is how it used to be. Yeah,
exactly.
This is what
the
made
original meat.
Benjamin Franklin make it to 86. This is the meat that this way. Yeah, and he ate a lot of meat.
Right now, ButcherBox is offering new members ground beef for life. That's 2 pounds of ground beef in every box for the life of their subscription, plus $20 off the first box. Just go to butcherbox.com/Titus or enter promo code Titus at checkout. That's butcherbox.com/Titus or enter promo code Titus.
I have to say, man,
checkout.
it's the best chicken I've ever eaten. The chicken breast is the best chicken I've ever eaten.
And it's not just red meat. They also have
they have fish.
fish
Yeah, fish.
and chicken.
Fish.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, see? Yeah.
Yeah.
And fish is good at omegas, so.
Yeah, good,
Great
yeah.
omegas, yeah.
But they're even their fish is like they don't. It's I don't think it's fresh. It's not even farm raised. It's like it's. Is
Yeah,
it
you don't
farm
want farm raised.
I don't.
No.
Not sure.
Well, don't they put they put dye in it, right?
Yeah,
like that
you
red
don't want-
salmon
yeah,
is like
yeah.
that's a pretty color.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Right.
It's like-
Yeah, but Butcher Box is awesome, man. We actually we have our refrigerator all the time. It's awesome.
Nice, see? I just don't eat meat. But
Yeah.
for those that do, I totally agree. If you're going to eat meat, because you can't make people change their lifestyle, but at least if they do go healthier.
Right. It's
you
just
know?
one less thing to cause bad
Yeah,
stuff.
because you don't want antibiotics and all that, because that breaks down your microbiome.
Right,
You know, it's
exactly.
antibacteria.
Right.
And it's like you want to keep the good bacteria. That actually pushes out the bad bacteria.
Right.
So things got really, really bad. I was in really bad shape.
So
I was
you're
barely
going
breathing.
down. You think
Yeah.
you think you're going out.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I actually felt the death, which was weird. I didn't even know you could feel death.
But it was
and I
coming.
learned quickly, you do feel death, and it's like, oh my goodness. So I was feeling the death. And
When you say that, what does that mean? I feel death. Like
if there's a feeling of like when you're dying, if there's an actual feeling,
Right.
I was feeling it.
like you're on your
Like
way
I
out.
could feel everything was going. It was and I was in fact I had a lot of what I call visits. I started seeing things, and it was just this really.
Did you wake up in pain?
Yeah, and I was barely so it was just like
By the way, your husband is nodding off camera really vigorously again. He's nodding. He's like, yes.
Yes, it was bad. It was so, like, he couldn't even, like, he used to always give me like the little back rubs. He couldn't touch me because it hurt so bad. Like my whole body
What
just
a bummer.
hurt.
So you got rid of it, and because of this test, you think that kicked it off again. So now you're back.
I'm in
You're
bad
way
shape.
worse than you were.
Yes.
And then what'd you do?
So we go to Optimum Health Institute. I try everything, and it's
Doesn't work.
just not working. And I couldn't take anything in. It just, if I did, it would make me want to throw up.
Wow.
And so then I'm sitting there going, okay, what can I do? And I'm thinking I could feel myself withering away, like just literally dying. And I thought, okay, I need to get something in. So then we even tried doing like pizza or burger, anything. I couldn't even get it. Like, the moment I even touched it.
You went the other way.
Because I needed something.
Right.
Nothing.
Not
I
like,
could
I'm
not
going
get-
out, so
like,
this is-
yeah. So I was trying to get something in the body because I was so weak.
Yeah.
I needed something in there because I couldn't do juice. I couldn't do anything. It just wouldn't
Wow.
take. And then I tried, but I couldn't do that. Like nothing, not a burger, nothing. The moment I did, it was right back
Got
out.
it.
So my body just was no longer taking in any
So
nourishment at
what's
all.
the desperate move? What do you call it? This
So
point?
oddly enough, a friend of ours reached out to us and said, there's this doctor in San Diego who has a clinic in Mexico who actually helps people cure their cancer naturally with all these natural herbs and such that he does. I can connect you. And I'm just thinking, you've got to be kidding. This is great. So we do. We leave out
You
of
gotta
there.
be kidding me. Do you have any doubt about it, or because you'd already done it?
No, I'm just
once?
thinking, you're kidding me. Finally, I needed this man like a long time ago.
Great.
Okay, yeah, right, exactly.
Now that I'm dying,
Right,
here he
yeah.
comes up, right? So we do meet him.
Do we have documentation that this was bad? Did you guys go to the doctors with all these tumors again, and what did they say?
Oh, they pretty much said it was done. It was like,
You're over. You're done.
yeah. It's we can try to give you some chemo to like extend.
And the best
a
we can do
little
is
bit.
keep you comfortable.
Right, but
So we have documentation that these tumors came back.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Keep
It's,
going,
oh
keep
yeah.
going.
I mean, even
I only
videos.
just- I
it's
know
so
this-
bad.
I know the story,
Yeah.
and I'm a believer. I just want everyone else who's listening to go, come on, man. It sounds like no, she cured it. And by the way, and there's so many stories like
Yeah.
this.
Oh, there's so many people,
where
yes.
people go, nope, I didn't do chemo. I did this, and it went away.
Yes, I
And
met
the-
many of them.
And the thing is, there's no fireworks that go off. There's no, and
Yeah.
nobody wants to tell you. My buddy Marshall, who does the NUCA, he's the best in the world at it. He's turned kids. There was a kid that was. The thing about holistic health is that some of it's been around so long. The Chinese medicine. Why do you think it's been around so long? Because it worked.
Because it worked.
Because it worked.
Yeah.
So keep going. Tell me. So you find this guy in
So
Mexico.
find this guy. We meet him. Super nice guy, and he immediately starts giving me all these different supplements and drinks and stuff to get in because he saw how I was in so bad shape.
Right.
And so he said I would need to be in the clinic because he does do outpatient, but he couldn't do for me because I was just so gone.
Right.
But then I'm going, okay, so what is it going to cost? And then that became an issue. So then we left.
I read the script. It was tough. You guys,
Yeah.
as anything, when it comes to medical procedures, we're screwed. You
Yeah.
know, my sister lives in Sweden. They're covered. It's handled.
Right.
It's handled.
Yeah.
Canada, handled, covered. We're the only industrial nations that can't get this together.
We can't
Yeah.
figure it out.
We can spend
Sadly.
$800 billion on guns and bombs, but we can't see but only 90 in education. And
Yeah.
if we could just flip that, we could actually get health care.
Oh yeah, you'd
it's
have a
not-
whole different
And the
world.
funny thing is, it's not a Republican or Democratic issue. This is
No.
what's funny to me. And
Yeah.
here's how I know that: because the Republicans and the Democratic senators and House members have the best health care in the world.
Yeah.
They have health care. We don't get it. I actually have a new thing now. I think all senators and congressmen need to, the only way they can make their money, they should get paid what the average American gets paid.
Right.
The average American, they have to take the same health care that the average American takes, and they have this. They get the same perks. They don't get to buy
Right.
they don't get to trade stocks.
If they're representing us, they need to
exactly
use the
Yes.
products that
Yes.
we are using.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So-
well,
and then you'll see things change real quick.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh, this doesn't work. Okay.
They can insider trade. Do you know that? And not they're not getting in trouble. But we go
can't.
to jail.
Right. So separate
Right.
rules for them.
Yes.
Yes.
Then we have.
So-
Exactly.
Right, go ahead.
Exactly. So I get there, and we leave, trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to do this? I don't have much time, and by then my heart.
Your life is literally ticking down. at
Oh,
this
done.
point.
Yeah,
Got
yeah,
it.
yeah. I wake up the next day, I'm drenched. Something's not right. And my heart is like, I could feel it. It's racing and I can't breathe. And so I let my husband know, and I'm like, Chris, I need to use the bathroom really bad. I can't move. It was like I just couldn't move. And then you could see like this water the sweat was just dropping like water. It was crazy. My daughter immediately calls 911 because I told her, I was like, I'm dying. Like I knew I was dying at that moment. And so she calls 911, and they had to have been like there because within seconds they were in our apartment. And they tried everything they could. Long story short, they get me into the ambulance. They don't let Chris come in because they're about to do something that I didn't know they were going to do. They had me strapped down. They put the oxygen mask on me, and then they said they're going to give me something to make me feel better. And as they're about to inject me, they said, we're going to stop your heart, which freaked me out.
So on the way to stopping your heart, they're telling you they're going to stop your heart?
Yes.
They didn't say, hey, can we stop your heart? They
No.
just said, we're stopping your heart.
Yeah, it was because I was going.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
You guys, this doesn't seem good.
Yeah. And because I was at like 220 and rising. So it was
Wow.
really, really bad. And so I didn't even know that there was a such thing that they do to do this. So that's when you see people getting their thing, it's not really when somebody's died because it doesn't do no good. It has to be that your heart is off and then they have to reset it.
So you were basically in a hard VTAC. You were in a V. You were just
Yeah.
your heart was just going.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
So
go
they
ahead.
inject me, my whole body goes up in the air, and it felt like everything went in slow motion.
Was Chris watching through the window?
Through the window? Yes.
Wow.
Dude, was that horrible? He just said awful.
It was so bad. He saw when I opened my eyes when they said that, my eyes was like, what? And I'm going, no, don't stop my heart. For the love of God, don't stop my heart. And they do. They go in, and it felt like a semi-truck was on my chest. It was like this, like everything was crushed. It was the most.
My
ugly
dad said
feeling.
this after I asked about. He said it felt like someone parked a garbage truck on my
Yes,
chest.
it's like it feels like a crushing. It's really, really horrible. And the whole time I'm thinking they've killed me.
Right, you're dead.
said,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
it's-
basically your heart's not working right now.
Yeah, it stopped, and I didn't know when it stopped. You get this crushing feeling. It's like, oh my gosh, and he did it, and he's like, nope, it's still rising. So he goes, I'm going to give her a 12. So now they're going to double the dose, and I'm just like, no. And so they did it again, and here I go. So it wasn't getting any better. I get into the hospital, and then by then it gets it down to like 136. So they're finally bringing it down.
Got it. Did they have to shock your heart back, or it never stopped?
They did, because in fact the next day I started doing it all over again, and they did it again, and I'm like, wait, no, because the alarms went off. So when it started happening again,
And they defib you back.
they did. It's a shot they use that
Oh,
goes and
okay.
does the same. Yeah, and so but the doctor said, he said, you have so much fluid around your in the chest cavity.
Congestive heart failure. You basically.
So it's putting so much pressure in your heart and your lungs that, you don't have. And so they were like, there's nothing much we can do. We can do another thoracentesis, but.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
There's nothing more we can do. It's such an awesome response. Damn it. Keep going. What happened?
And so they're just, and the one doctor, in fact, the doctor came in and he chuckled because he couldn't get over how I was still alive.
That's funny. Yeah, it's amusing.
He's just like,
it's amusing that you're on the ragged edge of death.
Yeah, he's just like,
hey,
how are
you're
you
still here? Jesus Christ. This is hilarious.
This is a miracle.
Right?
I can't believe it.
Hey, guys, come and look at her. No, she's totally fucked up. And her heart's going at 220. Still alive.
He's like, how are you
fucking
doing
amazing.
this? Yeah,
What the hell's happening?
Yeah, high five.
Yeah,
Lourdes.
and
Wow.
he just like looked at me. He's just like, I can't get over how you're still alive. And he goes, you have so much fluid. No one, like for him, there would have been no one who would have survived.
No
this.
thanks to you,
Yeah, and he goes,
douchebag.
and he's like, you're still here. And so then he said, look, you've run out of time.
Oh my God! At this point, I don't know what to do. I don't know to punch him. Right.
Well, that was Chris's reaction. My husband, he was just going, he should have never said that, and he got really upset. And I was like,
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah, I said, well, I think he was just shocked because he's just looking at me like, how are you alive? Like you don't have.
What happened to the
there's
bedside
nothing-
manner?
Yeah.
You're going to be okay. We're going to fix this.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like,
what?
wow.
I like that even he saw healthcare as a magic trick.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, you're alive. Wow. We fucked this up bad and you're still here. That's
alive.
amazing.
That's crazy. Yeah. So he,
another example of why I am not a fan of doctors.
so he was just like, look, you've run out of time. And so
Another.
So
wow.
he gave it.
it's done. It's done. It's done. Right?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So now what do you do?
And so then I'm like, and he
Get
goes,
me outta here,
yeah,
right?
and he goes, if you just had like a little bit of chemo, it'll extend some type of, and I'm like, no, I'm like, I'm not doing chemo. And then I just started crying. I said, I just need to get to Mexico. I said, but the problem is that I don't have the funds. And I said, and I can't tell my family because I don't want them to know that I'm dying. It's just, so it was this conflict.
Right.
And, but a friend of mine actually did what I told him not to do. And he reached out to my family and he said, look, she's dying. So you can keep fighting her or you can help her. And that's how we got the money. And we got there. And,
it worked. Wow. Oh, you're crazy. Stay with it.
And,
So you got to Mexico.
I went to Mexico.
What happened in Mexico?
Oh my gosh. That's the stuff that we need here. Because it is life-saving and it is life-changing. You don't feel sick every day from doing the treatments. You feel better every moment. Like every hour on the hour, every second of the second. You just keep improving. And
What did they do though?
Oh my goodness, they did several different things. They gave me this Pearl Nutrition where it's like saturating your whole body to get healthy.
Like,
And you-
what is it like? Oh, like just an incredible, like a
like high nutrition. Like you're getting
so
all
like a
the
natural
minerals
chemo,
and
they're
nutrients.
just pumping you full of stuff.
So
all
instead
this
of
stuff,
chemo, you're getting immediately something good for you.
Right, so it's
a good
nourishing
idea.
your body
Right,
at a,
yeah,
at
yeah,
a
no
crazy
chemicals.
level. So your body starts feeling amazing. And eventually I had, because my lung did collapse because of all the fluid, so they did do, they had to quickly put a tube in to pull out the fluid.
Yeah, with no. So I read the script with no at all any kind of
No,
anesthetic.
no,
They
no.
basically just took a blade, cut
Sliced
between your
and
ribs.
went- oh my gosh, yes.
And put a tube in your lungs. That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, it was the worst
Which was the worst? The
experience.
stopping your heart or that?
Oh my gosh, they both felt like they were killing me. So, so
By the
it's
way,
hard to say.
Had it been a burglar, that's what it would have been. They were
Right?
killing you. They were.
So
killing
I
you.
would say like, well, the crushing where it was horrible, but when they did that, I stopped breathing completely until they finally, and then I was breathing. So, but that was, it was
they
very
needed to-
scary.
they needed to do
They
it.
had to,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
But at the moment when you're not breathing, where everything just stops, where there's no air coming in anyway, you freak out really bad. So
Sure.
Yeah, you're suffocating to death.
completely.
So they pumped your lungs full of air.
So they put the tube in, and once they put the tube in, this machine like pulled the fluid out, and it's like my lungs expanded, and it was amazing. So I started breathing, and between that and what they were doing, I felt so healthy and so strong.
How many days? Till you started feeling better.
Within a week I was feeling amazing, and by the third week I was completely cancer free.
Wow.
How many weeks?
3 weeks. From cancer throughout my body, I was cancer free by the third
What?
week.
Okay. So here's what I'm saying. So it was just nutrition. It was just they just whatever they.
What they did is there's several things. It was all plants, right? So one was an herb that came in a capsule that wasn't allowed to be seen in light. So when you took it, it had to be
It was
in a dark room.
photosensitive, right?
Yes. So you had to go into this dark room where you saw nothing. It was like you had to feel for it. It would go under your tongue, and you did 3 of the capsules, and it would just disintegrate. And then 24 hours later, you go under the light. So what happens is the herb hugs around the cancers. And then when the light hits it, it shoots in oxygen through it and it kills it. That one was my favorite because you saw the results immediately.
Right.
And you felt the result. Like if you
So
had
this
a tumor,
herb
it was
attached to the cancer, and then when they put you under what kind of like an ultraviolet light? What kind of
what kind of was it?
Full spectrum.
full spectrum light?
light.
Full spectrum light. Okay.
It's photosynthesis.
Yeah, so
Okay.
photosynthesis, and it was amazing. Like out of all the treatments they did, because they all did, like you had all these things. That was my favorite because the results were immediate. It wasn't like eventually, like no, it was just like the moment they did it, I felt everything going away.
As you felt the bubbles when the bad stuff hit, you
I started
felt it
seeing,
go.
yes, and then you saw it. It was like the tumor that I had under my pit. It was just like. It was crazy.
Went away.
It went from this hard thing to the squishy thing to just going away. Yeah. And it was quick. And it was kicking. Talk about kick cancer's ass. That kicked cancer's ass.
Do you know what that is called?
I don't. Do we know what the name of it was? Amazing stuff.
Okay.
And so they did that. And then we did on a day, and this was daily, right? So I had to do go under the light on a daily basis. I did this foot detox on a daily basis. They did this sound therapy wherever the tumors were, they had a certain sound, and that was done on a daily
Like high
basis.
speed vibration of the tumor.
Yeah,
Like,
so it kind of, it wasn't a vibration, it was a sound. Like
well,
you
that's what
couldn't,
but sound makes it vibrate, really,
right.
depending on the sound.
Yes,
It makes, yeah.
and so and
What
it
did it
would-
sound like? Was it like
I couldn't
squeak
hear it.
high?
I couldn't
Oh,
hear it.
really?
I
So
couldn't hear it.
ultra, like
Yeah.
ultra. Okay, high
Yeah.
frequencies. Okay.
They did that daily. They did. I had to take these different drinks. One was like, I couldn't drink it the moment it went in. It was like, psh, and it went out. I was like, that one's not good for me. I don't want to puke it all the time. But it was just like nutrition. Like they had someone who was making the food natural, and like everything was fresh. And I ate papaya on a day. Was it papaya? Yeah, papaya. I had papaya 3 times a day, right? So it was like just
So
consistent.
they just
were
went at
making
it
you eat, yeah.
with,
Yeah.
with an entire arsenal of natural things.
They attacked
Yeah.
you.
All
They,
at once.
they attacked
all
you.
at once. It was like here I had this IV with the pure nutrition. I had the stuff that I was eating that was all nutritional. The stuff that was going in, like things that I drank, and I had the alkaline water.
It's like
was
being
this-
attacked by a Whole Foods.
Yeah. Yes.
Exactly.
A whole food, literally a whole food.
Yeah.
So I had all these
That's what was on
herbs
your
and
chest. It
nutritions
was
that
all-
went into the body that I couldn't get over it. It was like this was amazing. It was really amazing. So when we left,
And you literally, I'm not even talking blood work. I'm not talking x-rays. You had a tumor under your arm the size of a golf ball, baseball.
yeah, and it was gone.
And it went, and you felt it like daily. It went away.
Oh yeah, it got squishy. So it was like this
Chris,
hard,
did you see this? Yep, Chris, you said
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It was like this
Were you
hard
s-
thing.
I'm sorry, you're on off mic. We don't have any mic. Did you? I'm going to ask Chris something. Chris, did you see it? Did you? So you were there while this was going on, and with your own eyes, you saw her cure cancer. This whatever they were doing in Mexico cured cancer. I've heard this and recorded it.
Yeah,
that's the documentary.
Yeah. We record all of it. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. You see.
Oh, there's a reason they don't want this out.
Right. Yes. That's why. Yeah. That's what I was telling you. Like it's complicated, but yeah. So it's tough. But the thing, we have all the documents on it. Like we have video documents. We have the medical documents. We have all of it.
And
when I had it, when it went away, like the whole thing.
3 years you were 3 weeks you were cancer free.
Yes. And then, but I still had,
then what happened?
I still had the opening in the chest cavity.
Right. Now, what was that from? Was that from the slice they did, or from the way I was?
No,
earlier?
that was from when,
the tumors were rubbing together.
right, that it caused the opening.
Right.
And so now the fluid, because our bodies naturally have fluid.
Right.
So it was just dumping into the chest cavity. So the doctor there had said, look, the one thing that you can do surgery, but it doesn't really guarantee anything, and then you'll probably have complications for the rest of your life. And I was like, well, that doesn't sound good. And then he said, but there's another thing you could do, and you can do 3 light doses of chemotherapy.
So now everything goes off in your head. You're like, no.
No way. I was like, I wanted to like, are
Yeah.
you kidding me? And so he's like, no, it's nothing hard. Just 3 light doses. He said, because chemo is so bad that even though when people do chemotherapy, they'll get like scratch marks and stuff because it scars. But it does that inside the body as well. Right. So it's not good, but if you have an opening in the chest cavity, then it is, because then it seals it.
Basically, the chemo in this case, specific for your thing, the doctor thought it would weld this hole shut, basically.
Right.
So
Which he was right. It did. It actually did. By the 3rd treatment, it actually sealed it. But when I came here, because there they would do it for $10,000. That's how cheap it is. Here, 100,000. But
Wow.
Which is why you have to do
thing. Yeah.
insurance,
Wow.
right? So I thought, well, we don't have an additional 10,000. We just spent like 32,000. We don't have an additional 10,000 to do this. So I thought, well, we'll just come back. We'll raise funds again, and we'll go back. The problem was that when I got back home, because I don't have that tube removing the fluid, it started coming back again, and quickly. And I just didn't want to go to the hospital again. I'm like, I just don't. First of all, I didn't trust the hospital here any longer because of
No,
what I went through.
I don't trust. I saw it repeatedly.
It's just not good, and I'm like, I can't do it.
Wrong diagnosis. Not giving them what they an antiviral when she needed it. You know, she went septic because it's just like
all these things.
This happens all the time.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't want to do this again. So I go ahead, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have no other choice. I can't breathe any longer. So in the morning, we watched the movie first, and it's interesting because I didn't remember the movie. But Chris
Whose
did.
idea was in this time when your lungs were filling up or your chest cavity filling with the fluid? Let's watch a movie.
Me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're just tired. You were just tired
I was
of all
exhausted.
this.
I didn't want, and Chris was freaking out because he's listening to my back and he's going,
And it sounds
Baby,
like
have to.
Baby sounds like a bubbling brook.
Yeah, because he couldn't hear me breathing any longer. So he's just like,
oh my God.
Yeah, so he's like,
a
we
good
need to
dude.
go, and I just cried. I'm like, I can't do it again. I said, I just want normalcy for just one day. So I said, let's just watch a movie. We'll go in the morning. And poor Chris was like freaking out, like he would listen, but you could tell he was just like, just let me get you ready before you
It's
die.
really great that you're not really strong-willed. That you're just an easygoing. Yeah, sure, whatever. Good.
So we watched this movie.
You'd be dead if you were, by the
Yeah,
way.
seriously. But we watched the movie. We leave in the morning. I don't remember much of the morning because lack of oxygen. You don't have much memory. I do. The only thing I really remember is everything outside of what nobody else could see but me. So those are the things I could remember, but I couldn't remember anything else. And at that moment, it's when I told them. Now I don't remember it, but he's like, "Oh, you told him to go ahead."
I like that through all this, you were still kind of an a-hole, it sounds like.
Right? Yeah. Oh, I had to be.
I know.
had to be.
You're saving your life. Right, got it.
And so I get there and I say, yeah, let's do the chemo. You know, that way. And I didn't want them to know why. It's just like they don't need to know. It's gone. And then they do the chemotherapy. But here, the chemotherapy they were going to do was not a light dose. It was a high dose because for them, I had cancer everywhere. So when they did the high dose, my body shut down and I went into a coma. And so it was everything just stopped. Everything.
Why didn't you go back to Mexico and get it done?
I didn't have the $10,000 to do it.
And your insurance covered it here.
And the insurance covered it here.
Got it.
So your body shut down again. So now, boy, your body had to just be like, this bitch.
She's just fucking me up. Yes. She's not getting this.
Like, what is she
She's
doing?
doing to me? Yes. But through that, I mean, I had a crazy experience while I was in the coma. But in this, my body started healing. It started by the third treatment, the lining did seal. And so it was just.
But now you had chemo again. Did it kick the cancer on again, or did you just go right back to nutrition?
I did do the nutrition faithfully. And at that moment, I thought, I'm going to now record what chemo does. And I started recording the damage of what chemo does. And of course, Chris thought I was really nuts because it's like the whole purpose was seal it, be done with this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but do people know that even if you don't have cancer, they'll still give it to you? Do people know the hurt and things that they'll do to you? I know what to do to build myself up. What can I show?
Right.
So I recorded all of that. And then I went and got all the documents showing that the whole time they were doing it, there was no cancer.
So does the documentary show all this?
Of me doing the treatments and stuff, yes. And
Is the documentary, do you guys think the documentary is convincing that this is the way to go with curing cancer?
I think it would definitely show people that there's such a better way because you're, instead of breaking down and losing your hair and getting sick, you're getting strong and you're feeling great and you're like ready to kick anybody's butt.
I
So it's like, yeah.
I saw it with Ray's mom, but then when they went and they tested her, that she went to Ojai, she got energy and everything was coming back and she was healthy, but they said the tumors didn't go away on her liver. They didn't go away, so.
Did they ever check to see if there was hot spots though? See, like, you can have a tumor,
You gotta
but
understand-
doesn't mean that there's cancer inside that tumor.
Right.
Which is what creates you to feel better
you'd be
because you're
benign,
not
yeah.
no longer having that. So they can go, oh, there's a tumor, but I always ask them, but is it a hot spot? See, because a tumor and a hot spot is so very different. A hot spot means
I think
cancer
it blocked her
inside.
biliary duct, and that's once it blocked her biliary duct, she went septic. That was the problem. So this worked. So have other people done this? Do you have any other people that do? You have any other people that have done
Many
this?
people done. In fact, there was one lady I got to meet. She was late 60s, early 70s, and she was given 3 weeks to live. She had cancer in the liver, had spread through her whole body. She had never done treatments. She went to Optimum Institute for 6 weeks. I got to meet her when she was on her 5th or 4th week. there, and I was like, you were given a few weeks to live. She looked amazing. And by the time she left, in fact, she sent me an email.
Did she go see your doctor in Mexico?
No, she just did Optimum Institute and knocked it out in 6 weeks.
Wow.
And when she went back to the doctors, they found no cancer. And of course, to them, it was a miracle.
It's interesting. I like when the science guys, because honestly, if I was a doctor and I was like, wait, you left here. You gave us the finger as you left.
Right.
Then you went to Jamba Juice for 6 weeks. But you're doing hard. I know you're doing that has sugar, but you're doing. But I like that you're like Jamba Juice. That's not healthy. Robex, not even. So you have to juice fresh juice, and you did this, and then you whatever the treatment they did with nutrition down in Mexico, and they cleared it up, and then whatever that photosynthesis, and you'd think. And so why don't they do it here? Is it because it's all natural and it's cheaper and they can't charge you?
Well, the thing is, you think about it, it's a business. In any business, you need return customers. But if you get everyone to have a great car,
yep.
and you did things that the car will never break down, well,
Tesla's doing this.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
There's an issue.
Yeah.
So for pharma, if you do all these natural things and they get rid of it completely, and now you change your whole lifestyle and you're always healthy, well, now they can't do anything.
There's no comeback.
Yeah.
There's no more cancer. There's no more side effects. There's no, high blood pressure. Now your blood pressure is good. You don't got diabetes.
The products that you used are readily available. It's not like they can control the stream
right, because you can't
of the product.
patent nature.
Yeah, exactly.
So how will they make their
can't make
money?
money. There's no profit in it.
Because you think about it, and I always say, well, why is it that they go and they say ginger doesn't get rid of the cancer stem cell? Yes, it does. Turmeric doesn't do this. Mistletoe? Oh, please. Okay, so how do you know? Have you done the test? Because if you did, why aren't you saying we've done the test? And we've done those studies, and it did not work. They're not saying that because they're not doing those studies.
Well,
but yet there are studies that have been done, and these doctors, they won't look at their studies.
Well, here's what they do. Even when it does happen, when they do, let's say because you have a lot of paperwork. Let's say you have this entirely mapped out, and you can prove that it works.
Right.
They will say, well, in any group of people, then they'll go to it's a miracle, and then they'll use science to argue that it's a miracle. They'll go, well, in any group of people, one will just with no problem cure it. Somebody their immune system will kick in and they'll cure it. It's a rare thing. It's a unicorn, but it does happen.
Right.
Wait, you just said it was. You said it was a miracle.
Right.
Well, so why would this happen in this way? Did you do that to everybody else? No, we used the normal stuff, and that they died. It's such a weird. It's a weird thing, and the problem with it is because I read the script you guys wrote, and did that happen? Like people kind of followed you after you left the doctors. There was an issue. Like after the metal syringe incident, what happened?
Well, so what happened is we were about to do the screening of the documentary. So we kind of put it all into one because the trip would be too long.
Right.
So we're driving, and anytime we were going to show it, we would,
advertise
it big time.
Right.
And, and come free, don't care. And,
right.
and it would always end up being like 450 people. It was like, you can only fit so many in a theater. But every single time something weird would happen. On one of the occasions, we were driving and this person sped up by us. And we're just thinking, like usually, okay, some idiot wants to go around us, whatever. Instead, what they did is the person on the passenger side turned around and just took photo of us and then took off. And we're like, okay, what was that? Another one was, and this was always during this time, another one was we went to get Chris's outfit, what he was going to wear for
the screening.
Right. And he comes out and we're talking, and then we're not thinking of anything. This older woman comes out and she's standing, and we're in the men's area, so she could be looking for something for her husband or whatever, right? Older woman, I'd say probably 60s. She's on her phone. And we're not thinking nothing of it. And all of a sudden, her phone goes off and takes a picture. And then she leaves. And we're like, what the fuck? And all these little things just kept happening. And we're like, maybe we should just chill and then just kind of leave things alone. And then it's not advertised too much kind of thing. You know what I mean? It just got weird. Right. And we just kind of started leaving things alone because anything we did
got noticed.
By
weird stuff. My buddy says this. My buddy Marshall, he's got... it's called Health Smart, and they do Nuka, and it's changed It's just a simple adjustment. Once your head's on straight, all the pathways open up. Your lungs take if you have chronic respiratory problems. He's taking kids with autism that were non-communicative, and he calls me one day and he's like, "Dude," he goes, "I just adjusted this kid. They've been working. He hasn't talked to his mom for 3 years. After the adjustment on the way home, he goes, "Can we go to McDonald's?"
Oh.
The kid hadn't talked in 3 years.
Wow.
And so there are other things in this world that we don't know.
Yeah.
And we are told by this group of people that says this is how it works and this is the only way it works, which they said back in the 1900s when they would take a drill, or the 1500s when they would take a hacksaw to your skull, cut the top off, and then or they'd let all your blood out and yeah. So I think that so listen, what we're gonna do. Thank you for telling this story. So I want to be clear to everybody listening and watching right now. Lourdes had cancer. Lourdes cured cancer. Lourdes went back to prove that she cured cancer. Her cancer came back. She cured cancer again. So it can be done, and it was done in a way that is they don't tell you can be done.
Right.
And here's the thing. My opinion of it is, before we wrap this up, I have seen what chemo does. I have seen the pain people learn. I have seen the damage it does. Everybody says. I mean, the first time I heard the phrase was "the cure is worse." The cure is worse than the disease. And I've heard that phrase over and over again, and we have come to accept that. We're like, yeah, cure's worse than disease. Okay. That's the dumbest shit.
Yeah.
Like, as I heard myself, like, why would I even say okay to that? Oh yeah, we're gonna cure you, but the cure is worse than the disease. Oh, whoa.
Right.
The disease sucks.
So that's gonna suck worse.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to Robex. I'm gonna do some juice. So there's other way. So here's what we want to do. Can they read anything? Can anybody go anywhere and read anything?
Actually, the book is out. If you go to Amazon Prime, you can actually get our book, which is Our Journey to Option C.
Our Journey to Option C. Our Journey to Option C.
By Lourdes and Chris Lavoie.
Okay. So she's using 3 names now. I think you're in the witness protection program already to avoid the pharma cabal that's going to try to kill her.
Where is she? We have to find her with all her names.
Yeah. So you won't let a doctor go near you now. You're like, it's not. We're good.
No, I don't waste my time. It's like if I start feeling anything, which very rare. But if I do, let's say if I feel like, I don't know, I don't know. Here's for instance, Chris ended up getting, what was it? Like bronchitis? What was it?
Bronchitis?
Sinus. That's what it was. Sinus, right?
He had a sinus. So your husband had a sinus issue.
So he had a sinus infection because he usually ends up with a sinus infection. We went to Kaiser. Oh. Anyway, I won't even touch that. But he goes there to get an antibiotic like he usually does, right? And then when he's done, he builds it back up with the probiotics and blah, 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 whatever. So we go there. He goes to the sinus infection. They give him a different antibiotic. We get home, not the typical ones that he usually takes, someone that he's never had in his life.
Right, because they keep inventing new ones because they can patent them because patents run out. Yep. Keep going.
So we get home. He takes it. He gets so bad that now he's got this lung congestion and he's getting worse. And he's got these fevers that he never gets fevers even with his infections. Right. Never. He takes this pill. He's getting worse. He now has a fever. Even when he gets anybody in the family, when they're around me and they get sick, I just don't get sick. I just don't. He's been sick around me and we sleep together all the time, never get sick. He takes this pill. He gets worse. He's sweating. He's got this fever. I start getting a fever. I start feeling this congestion. Never had this before. I'm like, what the heck? So, of course, then I go and I get it. And he's like,
juice. Yeah.
Well, we immediately started juicing, and then we started eating raw garlic.
And?
Within 3 days, knocked it out. But he stopped immediately the antibiotic. He's like, this thing is making me worse. So he stopped. He started doing the raw garlic and stuff, and then he got rid of it, too. But we just knocked it out, and we're done. And we're like, okay, whatever that was, we won't ever do that again.
So let me ask people. So a lot of people get this. When you bring this up, I've talked to people about stuff like this medical, so, using homeopathic ways. And the people that got them cured, once you see someone do it, you're like, I can do that. And then you go, well, maybe it only worked for you. And there's a lot of people get angry when you bring it up. They're like, come on, man, spinach doesn't work. But then how did we survive as a species this long? Because we didn't get these drugs until recently. They didn't start pumping out this chemical shit till the 50s, right?
Right.
40. Yeah. So how did we evolve to here where we're putting people on the moon and yet we didn't have those drugs? And as I said in one of my shows, like they have antidepressants will cause suicidal thoughts. So I committed suicide because of my antidepressant. That's
Exactly.
like buying a 6-pack of beer and 4 of them sober you up. So, anyway, thank you for telling the story today. I want to say that I'm glad they can go to Amazon, get the book, Option C, Our Journey to Option C. Go get it. If you have family members, I'm going to get Rachel's dad. I'm going to talk to Rachel about this, and I want you to talk to Rachel about this too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because he's got we're in a new battle, and it's a battle.
Yeah.
So why don't you use a weapon that works?
I totally
Guys,
agree.
thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe to the podcast. Go to Christopher Titus TV. Also, if you want to get any DVDs for Christopher Titus, go to ChristopherTitus.com. You can get one of my 8 specials that are on there right now. And Lourdes, thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
And by the way, stay healthy. Juice. You don't want to die? Make smart choices. Listen to your doctor, and then make sure you put it through the filter of maybe he's just telling me what they always are supposed to do. They get paid, don't they? They get paid to push drugs. Don't they get
Well,
paid?
of course, yeah. They do make bonuses from all the prescriptions. that they give.
All right. Listen to your doctor, and also research and look. And by the way, it can't hurt to eat pure foods and be full of nutrition, right?
Yeah.
All right, so good. We basically eat well. We could have just started with, hey, eat well, you'll get better. All right. For myself, the Highlander and Lourdes Cologne. Later. Say goodbye.
Bye.
There can be only one.
There can be only one. Thanks, guys.